Epilogue? That's a little bit misleading. I'm pretty sure this is not the epilogue. There's no way. A hot summer day. The blue sky, huge towering thunderheads on the horizon. The landscape shimmering in the heat. The overwhelming cries of cicadas. The cicada chorus. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Chirp, chirp, chirp. It's loud enough to make me want to die. The husks of cicadas litter the open ground. The clearing is slowly being burned away, as though the sun is right on top of us. A hot, midsummer day. It's as if the world has turned into a frying pan. I hear a crying child. Akiha is crying. In front of Akiha lies a slumped child. A deep red stain has blossomed on their white shirt. They don't move so much as an eyebrow. I'm looking down upon them. My hands are stained the same red as the collapsed child. No, that's not right. My hands are stained red with the blood of the collapsed child. Which means I've been a psychopathic murderer ever since I was a child. The garden which the sun does not reach, where beautiful flowers reach full bloom reliant on naught but moonlight. In the heavens hangs the white face which seals off the cosmos. In the midst of the striking stars stands a solitary woman, pure as freshly fallen snow. She knows not words. She grasps not the concept of self. She is only ever used as a means for massacre. Drenched in blood, yet without words. It is only the lifeblood of her brethren that stains her dress scarlet, never her own. That is the only freedom allowed to her. When she completes her tasks, she returns to the castle like a falling star, to be imprisoned in its furthest depths. She sinks into a slumber so deep that even she cannot rouse herself from it. Yet the woman in white is not even aware of her fate. She merely gazes up at the moon, her eyes distant. I thought I saw eternity there. Could it have been my imagination? I suspect it likely was, but it concerns me not. Reality or illusion, it makes no difference. Even if I were to die, the vision seared into my retinas would never fade. A flower of profound grace, the soul-shimmering celestial mote to light upon this earth. I thought to myself that I ought to pluck this star. Were we both to be imperishable, death would never do us part. All I had to do was weave myself a destiny that would never end, even if I killed her or she killed me. A loop bound in blood. It would be fitting for me to sink into hell. After all, even though I had sought eternity, I had in fact trapped myself within a closed loop. I awakened from my long slumber. After satisfying myself that this is indeed my own room, I put on my glasses. Did someone leave the window open? I can hear the chirping of birds coming from the garden. The cool breeze brushes against my cheeks. The faint light of the sun dances across my eyelids. It's the gentle arrival of morning. I get out of bed and check the time. 7 o'clock in the morning, Friday. My body isn't in the greatest shape. I'm probably still exhausted. My whole body feels lethargic and feverish. Ugh. Nausea assails me with each breath I take. This isn't my usual anemia, but rather the discomfort of an empty stomach. It's sickening. It feels like there's poison in the pit of my stomach. Excuse me. The maid enters my room. She seems to be surprised that I'm awake. She probably thought that the occupant of this room was still asleep. Good morning. I see you are already awake, Shiki-sama. For some reason, that trivial reaction rubs me the wrong way. Good morning. Breakfast, right? I know. I'll be there in a minute, so get out. I'm gonna change. Damn, he's being kind of a dick. My apologies. In that case, I will await you in the dining room. Wait, what am I even doing? There must be something wrong with me if I'm lashing out at people just because I don't feel well. Still, I do feel terrible. I probably said all that stuff because I'm so on edge. I don't think I'll be able to focus on class like this, though that doesn't mean I can just skip school today. Right, I have to go to school. My nausea is so bad I can't even think straight. Even so, I could swear there's something happening at school that requires my presence. I take a long, deep breath to try and distract myself from the discomfort I feel in my stomach. Not going away, huh? This really is quite inconvenient. I suppress my dizziness and leave the room. After finishing my tasteless meal, I pop into the living room. There's Akiha being as soon as ever. It is plainly evident that the person who is already there is in a terrible mood. I mean, when is she not in a terrible mood? I feel like the only time she probably won't be in a terrible mood is when we get to her route. When she actually gets to, when she's actually gets to express the fact that she is in love with Shiki, because every other route she's just acting, total tsundere. But there's very little dere there, though. It's very much just Soon. Most of the time, it's just her acting Soon. Her prickly attitude makes it abundantly clear that she doesn't intend to be the first to break the silence. I've been trying not to think about it too much, but it's actually quite charming, in its own way. What would a rose be without its thorns? Good morning, Akiha. Up early as always. Good morning, Nissan. You were up surprisingly early yourself. I'd been under the impression you had been out late last night. So that's why she's acting all upset. It's an intimidation tactic designed to bully me into following the rules of the house. Behavior unbefitting of a maiden, but to be expected from the head of the family. I apologize for breaking curfew by an hour. I've been feeling pretty unwell recently, including right now actually. I ended up resting in the park for a bit yesterday. I believe I have made it abundantly clear that you are to contact me in such cases. I would have sent someone for you at once. Well, when you say you're feeling unwell, just how unwell do you mean? Bad enough that I've lost my appetite. I'll be better in no time though, so no need to worry about me. I mean, I'm sure I'll be back to normal once I get something proper to eat. Are you sure you're alright? You do seem quite pale. If you aren't feeling well, perhaps you'd better take the day off to I'm fine. I just have to make it through today, then it's the weekend. And hey, you need to take care of yourself too. You're out there working hard day in and day out, unlike me. No, that is overstating things. I am merely carrying out my duties, fulfilling my responsibility as head of the family. Well, if you could use a sense of responsibility to pay the bills, then nobody would ever go bankrupt. I may be basically an outsider, but I do think I have a pretty good idea of how much work it is to keep the Tono family afloat. I could pinch in on the weekends if you want, so tell me if you ever need something. Nissan, did you eat something good? Or have you done something so unforgivable that you feel the need to perform a bunch of good deeds now, to build up some goodwill before whatever it is you've done comes to light? You really don't think much of your brother, do you? Listen, I've been really busy outside of school up until yesterday. From today onward, I'll strive to do better and live up to my position as the eldest son of the Tono family. Come on, we can't hang around like this all day. You're cutting it a bit close for time, aren't you? My watch says it's almost 7:20 a.m. My sister goes to school by car, but even so, she won't make it in time if she doesn't leave around 7. Right, well then, if you would excuse me. Actually, Nissan? The proposal you brought up just now, it would be my pleasure. I'll arrange a welcoming party for you on Sunday afternoon, so please keep your schedule free. And something tells me he won't do that. My sister leaves the living room with a dignified air, elegantly, without the slightest sway of her long black hair. I'm entranced by her stately bearing. What on earth is wrong with you, me? Oh, wait, that's a weird way to say that. Why wouldn't he just say, like, what on earth is wrong with me? You've had such a luxury sitting before you all this time and done nothing? Wait a minute, what does he mean by that? My beautiful sister has been in front of me all this time and I've done nothing about it? How could I? I leave the mansion and head for school. I make my way down the hill. My limbs feel heavy, as though I'm piloting someone else's body. Well, this looks like a job for Dr. Arak. If you're not feeling well, she obviously needs to be the one to take a look at you. Sup? How's it going? I spot a familiar face inside the classroom. My friend may skip school a lot, but he arrives well ahead of time on the days he does show up. I'm sure that's partly because he lives near the school, but I think it's also down to the fact that he's the kind of upright guy that follows through on his decisions. Oh, we haven't seen her in a long time. Good morning, Tono-kun. Long time no see. Oh, Yumizuka-san. Yeah, it's been a while. You were out for a couple of days. Did you catch a cold or something? Yeah, I got a little injured. It wasn't anything too serious, but my dad's a bit overprotective. He told me to stay home until they catch the culprit behind those serial killings. Well, wait until we find out what happens to her in the Far Side route. Nothing really happens to her in the Near Side route, unless they change it for the remake, which, I don't know, I guess they might. Glad you're alright, but they haven't caught the culprit yet, have they? Yeah, well, there hasn't been anything new on the news these past few days. They probably skipped town or went into hiding, don't you think? Yeah, I couldn't just stay cooped up in my house forever, and there haven't been any new incidents, right? So my dad told me to go back to school, albeit reluctantly. That's good to hear. I won't press her on the details of her injury. I can more or less guess what happened after hearing how worried her father was. There's a chance that Yumizuka had a run-in with death somewhere out there, just like Tonoshiki did. Well, here's to another boring day. See you at lunch, Tono. My friend goes back to his seat as soon as the bell signaling the start of homeroom rings. I'm guessing his memories of Ciel must have been erased at this point because he doesn't mention her at all. Why is she looking at us like that? However, my classmate is still shyly staring at my face. Is something wrong, Yumizuka-san? Aren't you going back to your desk? Or were you planning on sharing mine? Oh god. No, I would love to, but I can't. You're saying some strange things today, Tono-kun. Did something happen while I was away? Nothing in particular. If you ask me, I'd say you're the one that's acting strangely. No, I'm not. I'm still recovering, that's all. But yeah, you do resemble him, kinda. What? I resemble someone? Yes, but before I took a leave from school, I came across someone who looked like you, Tono-kun. I called out to him, but it clearly wasn't you, so I left in a hurry. Yeah, that's different. What is she talking about? Thinking back on it, I wasn't sure why he reminded me of you, but... What? When I saw you this morning, I thought, oh, they really are alike after all. It must have been something small, like the way you walk or something, that made me think so. Yumizuka must have been happy with that explanation as she returns to her seat. The way I walk, huh? Just before she took a leave from school, that coincides with when I killed, then went drifting around, dazed and confused. I thought for a second that it might have really been me, but she said that she called out to him, so it must have been someone else. I have no recollection of talking to one of my classmates. Either way, I'm glad to see her back at school. I can breathe easy now. I guess the flip side is that the girls will get even noisier, but then that's just part of their charm. I sit down in my chair, reluctant to take my eyes off her looking back, and decide to embrace this fresh start to my life as a student. Oh yeah, that must be... Yeah, his memories must have gotten erased, because maybe he was going to say something like... He was looking at... Well, Ciel's not there, so I mean, she can't be if his memories of her are gone. Contrary to my expectations, classes end without anything particularly juicy happening. Nothing surprising about school being boring. It seems my friend's quip was accurate. On my way to the school gates, I make a spur-of-the-moment decision to detour around the schoolyard. I don't see anyone on the athletics field. Club activities have been put on hold and classes are over, so everyone's already left school for the day. The sun has begun to sink below the distant horizon. Seems I'm the only one weird enough to loiter around the school despite having nothing to do here. The school building is beginning to take on a red glow. I don't want to see the sunset. It looks like blood splashed across the floor, and it reminds me of the things that happened over the past few days. Okay, so he does remember, like, murdering Arcwade, but he doesn't, I guess he's not mentioning anything about Ciel. Speaking of which, Arcwade is nowhere to be seen. I'm sure she'll show up if Ciel isn't going to show up. The red object, the red streets, the red disposal site. The carpet of human flesh that blanketed the stone chapel. The feeling of walking across it was a little addictive, like stepping on freshly fallen snow. Ow! The pain in my eyeballs almost knocks me unconscious. Even though I'm wearing my glasses, my head hurts. Why? Throb. My head. Why? My head. Why? My head. Throb. Why? The pain soon dies down again. Thankfully, there wasn't anyone around. If someone, just about anybody would have sufficed, had been near me, I'd have been satiated, but thankfully, that wasn't the case. Time to go home. I don't have any business here, yet. What does that mean? I sigh, letting out a lungful of air. I leave the blood-red schoolyard, a hand clenched over my parched throat. Yeah, something's definitely going on with him. I drag my limp body back home. The sluggish feeling in my limbs that I woke up with hasn't improved at all. I require a more decisive solution. I need to come up with something fast. I need it tonight, or else. I'm home. Oh, Hisui? Hisui is working on something in the lobby. She's carrying an unfamiliar chair. I wonder if she's redecorating or something. Oh no! I know exactly where this is going, dude. This chair. The maid must have noticed me, as she's now walking over with quiet, shuffling footsteps. The way she approaches me without so much as a hint of suspicion calls to mind a sweet little bird. She's so vulnerable that I can't help but sigh. Luckily for her, I'm a man of restraint. If I were a heartless hunter, I'd have shot her down by now. And he's saying just weird things, you know. I feel like they're really trying to hammer in that, like, yeah, he's not himself. He's definitely, like, the role of personality has, like, I guess, almost completely taken over. Welcome home, Shiki-sama. I'm deeply sorry that I did not notice your arrival. How much more unsightly can she get? Stop flaunting that pallid neck of yours so brazenly. Don't worry about it. Stuff like that happens from time to time. Anyway, what are you up to? Redecorating? Yes, the chairs in the game room have been replaced with new ones, so Akiha-sama asked me to move the old ones to a room with fewer chairs. I see. Is Kohaku-san around? She is away at the moment. If you require anything, I could arrange for the two of us to come by your room when she's returned. No, that's okay. I can do it myself. I'm thirsty. Is it alright if I use the tea set in the dining room? Ah, of course. I believe you should be free to use the one on the tray. I see. I'm sorry for getting in the way of your work. I say goodbye to her and head to the dining room. Having quenched my thirst, I returned to the lobby. There was a selection of green tea and some light snacks on the tray, so I ended up taking a longer tea break than I'd planned on. Now then, it seems that the other residents aren't home yet, so I'll wait in my room until dinner time. Ow! I looked down at my smarting knee and find the chair that the maid had been carrying earlier. She'd placed it along the wall to prevent it from getting in anyone's way. If I'd been paying attention, I wouldn't have bumped into it. Oh man, I must really be exhausted if I didn't even notice that. I breathe out a sigh. Ugh. Oh, here we go. There's no point in putting another chair in the lobby. We have more than enough chairs in the lobby. What is the point of having so many? How does she not understand that this superfluous excess is an eyesore? Good lord, what lack of taste, of modesty, of purpose. Shit, the knee I banged on the chair still hurts. This pain is superfluous too. I would not have to feel this way if it were not for that chair. This is just my luck. I finally have some time for myself, only for it to be ruined by some maid's blunder. I kick the chair. Who wouldn't? Throb. Kicking the chair causes my leg to be assailed by even more superfluous pain. Throb, throb. Throb, throb, throb. You fucker. This thing is a nuisance. It's getting on my nerves. This chair is an eyesore. This chair. 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 Shiki-sama? Oh, Hisui. I'm sorry you caught me having a complete mental breakdown like a fucking psychopath and trying to destroy the chair. Imagine like walking in on Shiki just trying to destroy this chair out of frustration. Like just, I wonder what he was doing to the chair. Was he just like kicking it, or was he just smashing it against the wall? And you just walk in on that. You're like, how do you react to that? You're like, okay, I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna let you have, let you continue whatever it is you're doing. What's up? Why are you here all of a sudden? As I greet her, I notice something odd. I'm panting heavily. My throat is gasping for air. It's like I've just run a marathon or something. And the chair is completely smashed. Huh? Why am I panting so hard? I tilt my head back so that I can breathe easier. Shiki-sama, what are you talking about? What do you mean? I should be the one asking you that. You look so anxious. Did something happen? Shiki-sama, are you perhaps not aware of how you've been acting? How I've been acting? I haven't really done anything. Another headache. As I shake my head to try and drive it off, I notice something at my feet. There, now completely unrecognizable, are strewn about remains of what used to be a chair. Huh? Thump. My heart is pounding wildly. Did I do this? Yes, this is the result of you picking up the chair and repeatedly smashing it against the floor. It's even funnier than I thought. He was trying to smash it against the floor. What? Why didn't he just take out his knife and try to kill the existence of the chair, just stab the point of death? That would actually be a lot cleaner if he had done that. It comes as such a shock that I thought my heart would stop. My body temperature plummets. I can hear the contents of my head creaking and groaning as they freeze. I look down at my hands, dumbstruck. Sure enough, there are marks from where I gripped the legs of the chair. And splinters, too. Why? I don't understand. This behavior doesn't make sense. Tonoshiki wouldn't do this. Sure, I bumped my foot on the chair, and yeah, it kinda hurt, but why did I fly into such a childish rage and destroy it over something so trifling? Shiki-sama, are you not feeling well? If that is the case, I can call a doctor for you. I know that look. I saw those eyes many times back when I was in the hospital. Eyes that stare at me, that stare at Tonoshiki like he doesn't belong. No, it's nothing. It's nothing. I'm sorry, Hisui. I'm sorry. I'm a little out of it. I pull away from the sweet little bird, away from the broken chair that I smashed to pieces with these very hands. Shiki-sama, please calm down. Breathing that erratically isn't good for your health. It's fine. Just leave me alone. I want to be alone. Leave me be. I run up the stairs, yelling. I'm used that it's almost like I'm running away, though for some reason it feels like it's all happening to someone else. As soon as I get back to my room, I stumble right into bed. I pull the blanket over me, cutting myself off from the outside world. It's back. The dull ache in my temple is back. My head just won't stop throbbing. The headaches keep on coming, like a brand new heart that is manifested inside my head. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. It's because of this pain that I've been feeling so irrationally hostile. Did I finally go crazy from looking at the lines day after day? No, I just need to calm down. It's only a headache. It won't get any worse so long as I keep my glasses on. Right. I get these all the time. It'll go away soon. It hurts, but it's just one of my usual headaches. That's all there is to it. Stay calm. It will pass if I stay calm. And it keeps getting worse. See? It went away. The room is beautifully quiet. The only thing in here making any sound is the clock. I'm sure I'll be feeling calm in no time. Tick-tock, 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 tick-tock. The hands of the clock. Tick-tock, 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 tick-tock. Hey, could you pipe down for a bit? Tick-tock, 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 tick-tock. Hey. Tick-tock, 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 tick-tock. I told you to shut up. It stopped. Yeah, it stopped because I smashed it. Wonderful. Finally some peace and quiet. I shouldn't have to worry about anyone bothering me now. If my headache refuses to go away, I might as well sleep. Once I close my eyes, the dark of night will come to me. Once night falls, I can forget everything. There's nothing wrong with that, surely. Everything's over now anyway. Oh yeah, that's right. They're gone. No more vampires. No one left to fear. No more nightmares coming to torment me. And no more pesky executor. Then, all is well. I let out a heavy sigh and sink into a deep slumber. Yes, I slumber in my coffin as I wait for the night to come and I can drink more blood. This must be how a normal human acts. This is how Tonoshiki must act. Perhaps it was just my imagination. I awake with the sense that I just heard someone scream. The clock informs me that it's after midnight. I thought he smashed the clock. Since I went to sleep early and missed out on dinner, my body is now desperately pleading for food. I can't make my own food, so I guess there's only one option. I'll have to get some outside. I'll have to order some DoorDash, get some blood from the DoorDash, from the DoorDash app, get some blood delivered. I don't really want to go out and pick up some blood, go to the hospitals and get blood. It's a little bit too troubling. By the way, eating is such an oversimplification. There are actually two types. Eating for pleasure, which takes a painstaking amount of time and effort, and eating to live, which is far easier to accomplish. Tonight, I'm going for the latter. My limbs are still sluggish, and I don't have much energy to spare, but to think. Ooh! That I'd ultimately find myself spectating another feast instead. They're dead? Please, just don't kill me! I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry! Yeah, we know who this is. I spectate the writhing bodies from atop the building. Right now it's only 6, but if she keeps turning people into the dead left and right, the victims will start piling up exponentially. It really does have the characteristics of a game. She tortures her prey for fun, using the heady scent of their suffering to satisfy her own sadistic desires. Disgraceful, just as one would expect from some amateurish oaf. They tell themselves that one's enough, but before long, they get so swept away that they're blindly devouring anyone they can get their hands on. Impulsively, I look down at my own hands. When we eat, is that an act of good or of evil? I do not mean the act of eating simply to survive, but of eating for pleasure. Can the endless pursuit of ever more delicious experiences really be condoned? Why, of course it can. It is not those who kill who are culpable, but those who are killed. If a creature cannot defend itself and falls prey to the strong, then it is simply nature running its course. To kill other living beings, to feed upon other species of animals. If that is what it means to be strong, then dead apostles are not the strongest. Indeed, humans are the ultimate predators, an intelligent species capable of making up for their weaknesses through civilization. To put it in the words of the true ancestors, humans will surely be the ones to finally kill the largest life form there is, the world. Of course, ultimate does not mean strongest. It simply means they've taken predation to its ultimate form. Though humans are an outstanding species, as individuals they remain painfully weak. Anything so weak that it must sacrifice everything other than itself to survive is, in no uncertain terms, fundamentally evil. The creatures humans prey on may be different, both in terms of their ecology and their level of intelligence, but that doesn't change the fact that you prey on them. With that in mind, do you not think it arrogant to deem homicide evil? If anyone is guilty of sin, is it not those who, despite being predators, live in ignorance of this truth and are no longer even capable of protecting themselves? That's wrong. That's the kind of one-sided argument that only the strong could make. You vampires can keep your perverse logic to yourselves. Help me! Help me! Help me! Why? 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 Watching this scene unfold fills my heart with excitement, but I'll take my leave for tonight. Having my table manners and choice of menu critiqued by my very own self would only spoil the mood. The residual scent was more than enough to fill my stomach. I have to get back to my room before I awaken. Yeah, this sounds like the Roa personality that's kind of just like controlling Shiki. On my way home, I look up to the sky. In it hangs a moon that looks like it could fall at any moment. The hunger I thought I suppressed wells up in my throat, and I begin to desire a finer nectar. Oh, about to awaken, are you, Valdemjong? There he is. If I had to name something, I'd like a woman. Someone of utmost quality awaits me at the mansion, though I'm hesitant to lay my hands on her. It isn't that I have some emotional hang-up around preying on family. I simply do not want to die, and so my instincts are telling me to avoid danger. I'll have to leave her for last, or perhaps I have no choice but to ambush her and take her out right now, while everyone has yet to notice my transformation. Is he talking about Akiha? It'd be funny if, he did try to... Well, I don't know. Akiha wouldn't fight back. I mean, even though, as we know, she probably could. I don't know. I guess that would be an interesting scenario if she, actually did try to fight back. Good shit. It was a long shot, but it looks like my bet's paid off. You're a fucking wirelessly transmitted cancer. What kind of insult is that? A wirelessly transmitted cancer. I can't say I've heard that one before. So long as you're still jacked in, you got an easy and risk-free way to hop bodies. Look through all your files and I finally got it. If you don't need to, you'd rather not reincarnate at all. Lose too much when you do. So you'd rather gamble on some way of remaining in the same era, and that's what I fucking counted on. Hypothetically speaking, say we have being A, who can steal life from others. Let's presume that we also have being B, who has had their life force stolen by being A. It's different under the hood, But on the surface, it resembles the relationship between humans and vampires. For A, life force is basically their financial assets. As long as B is alive, A can utilize the assets that B produces like it's their own bank account. Only A profits from this, but as a result, A and B's relationship has become coexistent. So basically, he's just like a parasite. Just like he feeds on the host, the human host, and eventually, I guess, just takes over. This ain't something you've ever achieved before. Hell, even this time, it's just a goddamn miracle of a coincidence. You got lucky and reincarnated into a brat with some kind of vampire-like ability, and doubly lucky that the guy's victim was still refusing to kick the bucket. Ain't it fucking tragic? Means the city had two rotten pieces of shit running around, and they were one in spirit. Being A is the descendant of ancient creatures unique to this country. When Being A's abilities manifested, his father put him down like the monster he was. However, he still had a second bank account full of life force to draw on. Being B. Tono Shiki. Oh, okay, well, there's all caps Shiki, and then there's the regular Shiki, which is... So all caps Shiki, that's the vampire, and then regular Shiki, Being B. As a result, A survived while B died. His account drained dry. What complicated matters is that Being B, who should have died, was instead brought back to life by way of an unusual intervention. But thanks to that, it looks like I'm not down for the count yet either. I sent that executor back home for you. I'll keep the true ancestor off your back too. Yeah, but what about Noelle? What about her? She's definitely gonna come after us. You just take it nice and easy and awaken. Once you do, how about we work out a little deal regarding the secrets of agelessness? Being B was taken to a hospital where their life was saved through surgery. No, perhaps it's more appropriate to label it as the forced survival of a near-dead individual. Occidental bloodsuckers can prolong someone's life by giving them their own blood, thus turning them into their progeny. But Oriental vampires are different. They possess some unknown technique that lets them revive a human standing at death's door without infusing them with blood. Most intriguing, this country is small and isolated, but perhaps that is precisely why it has managed to so fiercely retain these arcana of old. This ancient clan is one such entity. Even if some foreign vampire hadn't shown up, their demise was inevitable. Oh, how nostalgic. I finally returned to this house for the first time in 8 years.